Working on some drill batteries today. Got a little project going on. I've got all these cheap NiCad 18 volts that go with my drill, and they worked great when they were new. 18 volt drill had lots of torque, but my little charging station up here works pretty well. You can pop in a battery. I have a couple of them sitting there. The drill sits in its shelf right up here. When you're done charging one, you pop it right on and charge the other one. It works pretty well. These worked all right when they were new, but they're starting to wear out. They're about 3 years old. So I'm going to crack it open, and we're going to see what's inside. What's inside is this very tight-fitting pack of NiCad batteries. It looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 NiCad batteries. I'm going to take these little tabs off the side, pop that guy out. I'm going to save these. I don't want to lose them. One-handed here. It's a challenge. All right. Never was much good at jacks when I was a girl. Okay. So I've got a case. And I've got the upper plate. And that's not bad. I can put those together. And I've got these. What I'd like to do is replace these with some lithium cells. So I'm going to pull off these tabs, this connector up here. This connector. I'm going to remove that. And you save that to solder it on, but then I'm going to solder up a pack of lithium ion cells to go in this battery. So where do I get lithium ion cells? Dead laptops. That's right. Dead laptop batteries are full of these guys, and some of them are terrific shape. These batteries, when I found them in the dead laptops, they were 3.91 out of 4.20 volts. So they were still pretty good. They were holding a charge, so I think these are going to be good batteries. These look like they came out of the same laptop. So I've got a bunch of these. I've got actually hundreds of these. A lot of them are junk, but a lot of them are pretty good still. I have many of them that are over 4 volts. So for instance, this one, when I found it, 4.6 volts. Now these are 2600, this looks like a 2000. These are 2600 milliamp hour batteries, so these aren't bad. But I'm going to gang together 10 of them and fit it inside of this case somehow. The other project I'm going to do is in the junk pile. I found the junk pile at my local e-waste recycler, totally my favorite store. At the e-waste recycler, I found this, which is the lithium version of the same battery. It's the same battery, fits in the same drill. Well, this is the lithium version, and it was toast. So I pulled out the lithium core in here, the battery pack, and I removed all of the batteries. Well, it had 10 of these 18650 batteries stacked inside. All I got to do is recreate the battery pack, stack it in here, and I'm going to be good to go. Now you say, how are you going to charge this thing? IMAX B6 lithium battery balance charger. So I can charge up to a 6S battery. That is a 6 batteries in series. I can charge up to a 6S battery with this thing, a 6S battery pack, that is. So I'm going to use this. I tore open a few other batteries just to see what we got. Tore open a few others. Here's what we got. We got Snap-on. Here's a Snap-on battery. I don't know what this went to, but man, they must have done a good job building it, because look at this. I found this battery at the e-waste recycler. Take a look. 3 out of 4 lights still light up. I tested this battery. It's at 3.9 volts, just sitting here in the trash. This is kind of what I'm going to be building. See, this has got 10 cells in 5S 2P series. Let me try that again. A 5S 2P arrangement. And then on top here, it's got this battery management circuit. I'm not even going to try to figure out how that works or what it is. And then you've got the balance charger across the top. When I charge this, I don't have a balance cable that will run with this. So when I charge it, I'm going to hook up a positive and a negative, and we'll hope for the best. So my other goal is to take this battery pack and convert it so that it works with this top. How am I going to do that? I don't know. 3D printing to the rescue. I'm going to 3D print a piece that fits on here and it mounts on there. That's my best bet. Or maybe, since I've got a pack already that fits in here, maybe I can 3D print an arrangement that allows this thing to go on top. It's going to be a little bit more bulky, but I think that's totally doable. So job number 1, refill this thing with new lithium cells. Well, new old lithium cells. Job number 2, figure out a way to arrange this thing together that'll go in here. And if that doesn't work, salvage this guy and this guy, fit 10 batteries in here, which doesn't work, by the way. 3 just doesn't quite go in there. And they don't quite fit in sideways. They almost do, but they're just a little too tall. So I might have to 3D print a new base and then epoxy that onto here. That's probably what I'm going to have to do. A base that can fit 10 of these cells. So anyway, that's the next project. It is, each one's going to go like this. So the pack begins right here with A1, and then these two are connected together, runs through, these are connected together, and it runs through this one, and this one's connected together, runs through this one, connected here, and runs through that way to the end of the pack. So it starts with positive, runs through, comes out the negative and in the positive, out the negative, in the positive, and so on, in the positive, out the negative, in the positive, and out the negative. I'm also going to have a wire that connects each one of these to my battery monitoring circuit, which is on this guy right here. That's what these little tabs are for. Here, 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 here. That's what these little tabs are for. They tie in to those side pieces. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the battery runs like this, but then the balance charger brings in one lead here, brings in another lead right here, and another one comes in here, another one comes in right here, and then you have the ends of the battery pack. So that's how it makes sure that the pack stays balanced, uses a balanced charge. It's going to have a longer life. It's hopefully not going to burst into flames when I use the drill. That would be unpleasant, to say the least. All right, so that's how I'm going to wire them up. I'm going to start by taking these guys. There's the positive end right here. Okay, so I'm going to take these guys and I'm going to mount them like so with hot glue. I'm going to hot glue them together. And then I'm going to take a piece of wire and attach them together. I'm just going to solder from this point to this point using a little scrap of wire. In fact, I'm going to use 2 of these scraps of wire twisted together. I'm going to take the copper core out and twist 2 of them together so I have a little heavier piece. I don't happen to have any chunks of nickel laying around, nickel strips. That would be ideal. Ideally, you would use nickel strips and you would use a welder, a spot welder to tack weld these on, spot weld them on. I do not have one. So I do have a soldering iron and I'm going to use that. So that's the plan. Okay, so now you can see this is how I've put these 2 wires together. Put these 2 packs together by soldering a wire from here to here. I've twisted the wire together so it's a little bit bigger. Soldered it from those tabs all the way across. It's nice because those tabs are already welded down to the battery pack. So I think this is going to work pretty well. I did, however, I always forget something, forgot to put glue in between them. So I got to go find my hot glue gun, plug it in, heat it up, blah, blah, blah. I'll put that all together. Okay, so now I've done my soldering. I've glued the cells into the pack. I laid a little bit of glue. Oops, let me get where I can see it. A little bit of glue under each cell here. And then a little bead of glue along the back side of each cell, like so. And then I soldered these things together. Let me show you the path the battery pack takes. So we start out, I'll use a pointer here instead of my fat finger. We start out with this positive, and it connects to the battery pack right here, jumps into the pack, comes out the other side, over here, back through the pack to here where it connects across, comes across again, back through the pack, through here, and then out the back side of the pack right here. And at each time it makes a connection, you can see each time it makes a connection, it pulls up one of these jumpers to the to the motherboard up on top of the balancing board on top of here. All right, so now we're going to see if this thing fits inside of the battery pack. So let's get the pack. I'm fairly certain that all of the soldering and things that I've done on the outside is going to make this pack too wide. Yeah, it's too wide. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of persuasion to get this thing in there, and it's not going to happen while I'm holding the camera. So let me try that. Oh, wait, before I do this, I need to test it out. All right, I need to test this thing out. Let me get my multimeter. Let's see what the multimeter says here. And the multimeter says, let's get it where I can see it. It says nada. What's going on? All right, let's see what the multimeter says. I've got my negative probe put in here and my positive right here. And what is it reading? 21.1 volts. So that's why the 18 volt batteries in lithium ion seem like they are really smoking. It's because they're running at 21 volts. And this is with old cells. Now, something does seem to be the matter because I've taken this thing apart and to do this one, try again. Taking this thing apart, I put the batteries up here, put the probes up here in the top, and I get a reading of 0. So I've got some other problems going on in here in my battery management system. That's unpleasant. So after all this, it don't work. Alrighty, I'll have to come up with a plan B.